On January 30th of this year, the #2 YouTuber in the world, Mr. Beast, uploaded a YouTube video titled, "Curing 1,000 People's Blindness." Now, Mr. Beast did not study at Hogwarts to create a magical spell that cures blindness, and he also didn't spend years as a scientist researching a cure for blindness. But what he did do was build a multi-million-dollar empire that provided him with enough money to fund a 10-minute procedure that can cure blindness. Today, I will apply the four-way Rotary Club test to demonstrate the injustices of the healthcare system that require millionaires like Mr. Beast to step in order for people to acquire what should be a basic human right. First, is it the truth? Is it true that there is an issue with healthcare in the healthcare system in the United States? The answer is yes. Although Americans can attain healthcare, the issue lies in how accessible said healthcare is. For example, what good is a plate of food to a starving child if that child must climb a mountain in order to reach the food? And what good is a blanket to a freezing man if that blanket is wet? And so what good is healthcare if it provides as many problems as it does solutions? Well, according to a 2018 study published by Pew Research Center, over half of Americans think that. Over half of Americans think that the currently employed healthcare system, quote, often creates as many problems as it does solutions. And this is not a new problem. The issue of healthcare is a persistent one that presidents as far back as FDR to presidents as current as Biden are still attempting to tackle, as shown by the 2021 National Health Statistic Report, which reported that over 30 million Americans are still uninsured. This accounts for nearly 10% of Americans. 10% of Americans who will struggle to gain access to healthcare. This number brings me to my next point. Is it fair? Is it fair that the primary factor in limiting healthcare isn't due to a scarce amount of resources, but instead due to the exorbitant price put in medical items? In the previously mentioned Mr. Beast video, the doctor who performs the procedure states that over half of all blindness in the world is curable. And the reason why people with this curable condition go untreated is because of greed. Greed which comes primarily in the form of markups in the medical business. An article published a year ago by Formulary Watch covers this issue on drug pricing. The article focuses on drugs such as gabapentin, which treats nerve pain and seizures. The article also focuses on the almost inhuman markup that the drug receives of over 1,000%. While distributors of the drug will buy it for $9, consumers, like you and I, will buy it for $104. This type of exorbitant pricing is what leads many into financial problems after a healthcare visit, or leads them to avoid seeking healthcare altogether. This leads me to my third point. Does it build goodwill or better friendships? The current healthcare system does not build goodwill, and it does not build better friendships. And to this, I bring you a personal example. About 5 months ago, on November 29th, my sister had her first son, my nephew, Gael. With this event came the usual smiles, gifts, and congratulations. However, what also came was a $32,000 bill. Luckily, because my sister has insurance, the total was reduced to $3,000. However, I believe even this is too much. See, after the birth of his son, my brother-in-law was forced to work overtime to make up for not only the payment of the birth, but complications that occurred after the birth. He gets to see his son a max of 3 hours a day and gets to play with him for only the short hour he remains awake. And soon, my sister will too be forced to return to work, limiting the time she gets to spend with her son. So I ask again, does it build goodwill? Does a system which separates parents from their children build goodwill? Or how about a system that, according to the National Library of Medicine, accounts for the death of nearly 200,000 Americans every 5 years because they fear payments from seeking medical help? Can we possibly build friendships while fighting for our right to survive? The answer is yet again, no. Lastly, is it beneficial to have thousands of Americans dying every year from preventable conditions? And is it beneficial to have millions of Americans living with curable diseases such as blindness? And is it beneficial for Americans to be unable to acquire what should be a basic human right? The answer is no. However, we can make the healthcare system beneficial by having the government invest into programs that help decrease drug prices, by investing into people like Mark Cuban, who caps the markup on medicine he sells at 15%, or by investing into companies like Eli Lilly, which recently capped their insulin prices at $35. We can turn the healthcare system into an investment into the American people, so that one day we will not live in a world where Americans are dependent on millionaires like Mr. Beast in order to gain a basic human right. So that one day we will not need to worry about the health of those around us. And so that one day we will not live in a world where conditions such as blindness go unseen.